What's good? It's Chigozie. It's Thursday, March 21st, 2019, and Rita would like to have some information on SPXL and SPXS. These are 3X ETFs on the S&P 500 indexes. And thank you for following the work, Rita. I'm glad that you find it easy to understand and you like it. So we're going to look at these. And for anyone interested, this is the S&P 500's activity. And as we've seen, the S&P 500 index tracks a lot of these companies run by the Zionist Jews, the Freemasons. So we're going to see more manipulation. This is going to be in one of the many videos I'll eventually make on how to play the S&P 500. I hope that this orientation switching doesn't mess up the video, but we'll see how it works. So SPXL is long, SPXS is short. So when the S&P 500 is doing well, you want to play SPXL, and when it's doing bad, you play SPXS. Or what I like to do is play TVIX, and it's inverse UPRO, although UPRO's margins aren't as good as TVIX. TVIX just runs really nicely when the S&P 500 sells off. So we're going to look at all that in this video. So first off, yeah, it looks like I can't even change the orientation because I'm holding my phone on the side. Guess we'll do it this way. This kind of sucks because, it's hard to see. And again, I wouldn't do this on my phone normally, but I can't do it on the computer now. But I want to get some information out on this request. But that means I'll just make another video. I want to get my computer up to speed. So the S&P 500 is looking good right now. And I'm only saying that because it's been trending above this SMA line, the simple moving average, this green line. It's been trending above it since all day today. And this is only days worth of activity, but there could be a continuation trend, especially if you see how the previous day it was selling off, but then towards the end of the day it had a big push up because this was the whole Jay Powell coming out saying with the interest rates, how they weren't going to do anything. That makes the S&P 500 go up. So understand, it's knowing like what Jay Powell's going to say. You can use it to predict this. And this is why I'm teaching this. If we know that Jay Powell is an actor for the federal government, that everything he does is by the numbers, he does certain things from his birthday, you could predict what his response is going to be. And I knew the response was going to be what it was. It was pretty obvious based on the current conditions of the propaganda, the narrative. And you can tell what's going to happen. And then you know that he's going to give it at 2. So you knew this, and you can just predict it, have all your money in on SPXL, and play. And to show you how they work, you see here at 2 p.m., that was not today, but that was Wednesday. This follows that. So if you want to play with the activity in S&P 500, you'd play this. See, it's the same. This tracks the S&P 500. See, at 2 p.m., shot up like 1% right there, which is a lot of money, guys. Don't look at 1%, 2% as like chump change. I mean, if you put down 10 grand and you make 1%, that's $100. You know what I mean? And these are high volume stocks. So you can put down even more than that. SPXS is the short. And this is why I like to play, not this particular ticker, because instead of playing this, I just play TVIX, which gives you even bigger margins, at least from my experience. TVIX is just what I know the best, but it's pretty much the same thing. It follows the S&P 500 inversely. So see how the S&P 500 did good today, so this is doing bad. It's selling off all today, but that's good. It's just building up margin for recovery. And that's what I'm getting into. First off, you see towards the end of the day, it's starting to pick up. It's starting to trend above this SMA line. You see the change of pattern? Before, all day, it's being rejected by this green line. You see how it'll sell off, sell off, sell off, bounce off this bottom VWAP indicator. And again, if you're not into technical trading, you don't like indicators, that's fine. You can just use support, resistance, and everything. It's a previous resistance up here where it bounces up to. But you see how it gets rejected by that all day. And now, old supports become new resistances. Or, excuse me. Well, yes, old supports become new resistances and old resistances become new supports. So that was an old resistance. Now you see how it's holding above that green line. And then this is where the gematria comes in. This is why I love to use that for this practice. It's just another indicator. You don't solely rely on one indicator. Like, you don't solely rely on these lines and only one thing. I think the most important things are the volume, the price action, just the raw data like that, the time and sales, stuff that's just very fresh and raw. But look at the date numerology for tomorrow. And that's where I'm getting into with the gematria. So you see how TVIX is starting to trend up again. It's very early stages. You can easily keep on selling off tomorrow. The S&P 500 could have a good day tomorrow. And we'll look at it on a larger time frame to see the actual trend. We were just looking at it on the 1 day, 1 minute. You want to look at a bigger time frame to see what's really going on. But you see how tomorrow, 223, it's a day with 44 numerology. And I'm saying this right now because I'm going to make a separate video, but Tesla's going to have some nice action tomorrow, either long or short. I'm thinking even long, like positive action, because it's 223, a very Masonic number, Masonic 223, and it's with 4417 numerology. I mean, just think about it. Or just do the 44 numerology, just that method I'll always use, 32219, space 44. But anyway, tomorrow's a date with 19 numerology, chaos 19, kill 44. There was a while that TVIX was running on days with 44 numerology perfectly, and it's all about the trend that the government's putting in the media. If they're saying, oh, the Dow's been doing good, the S&P 500's been doing good, it's on a good streak, 5 days, in a row of goodness, then you know that 44-day numerology could be a reversal. Or likewise, if it's been selling off continuously, it'll sell off even more in those dates. So you see how we get 44, 19, chaos 19, kill 64, 44, Israel equals 44 and 37. There's going to be some Israeli propaganda tomorrow. Probably just more Jewish themed. But anyway, Ritual 81. There's going to be some more. There might not be some major false flag shooting just because we just had the mosque attack. So they might just want to keep that in your forefront. But there might be something of smaller scale tomorrow. But anyway, we can predict stuff like that later. But you see how tomorrow is definitely negative numbers. We get the kill numbers with on 223, and it's on a Friday. It's a good day for the market to sell off a bit. So I'm thinking that the S&P 500 might sell off tomorrow. And you can tell by the end of the day, you can see the S&P 500 was selling off. But it's at support, and you see it's even getting rejected by this EMA, the blue line. So pretty much regardless of what line it is, right, the price either gets rejected by the line or gets supported by the line. You see this 55-day SMA right here, this white line, it's getting supported by that. You see what I mean? And you get supported by this EMA. And then a break of pattern means now, look, it sells off, it pushes up, just like how we saw with the green line earlier, now with this one too. It's getting rejected. Guys, a lot of traders use these lines. Like, these are common lines of activity. That's why I use them. Because they're really good at showing you what's going to be rejected, when it's going to be supported, and it shows you then the activity. So now that this longer SMA is below the shorter term, and it's getting rejected by the shorter term, once they catch up, you can really see what's going to happen. But what I'm trying to say is it looks like it can sell off. It's even trying to make lower lows. It hit like a double top almost, and it's still selling off. the market's overextended. Even the MACD, this is a really good indicator too, because you can see how it's about to turn red. Usually we'll do like a green cycle or 2 green cycles and then go red. So it looks like the MACD's peaked out. It's not overbought though. It was earlier. The market was earlier. But see when it closed, it was reaching the oversold side. But it can still sell off even more. I mean, look how low it can sell to. So it's still kind of too early to tell exactly. I mean, again, it could just push back up, test this high again tomorrow. But the date numerology, the negative impact of it is making me think otherwise. So TVIX, SPX, S might have a run tomorrow. It could be wrong, and that's completely fine. But I'm just kind of showing you like how they work. They react to the propaganda very well. That's why I like to trade them. There was just a time, like every single time Donald Trump was in some negative propaganda, TVIX would just run and just do some dope shit because S&P 500 kept selling off because of Donald Trump. Like, it's just great. Like, once you see how this works with the propaganda, you can have some fun. So, let's see. I'm just trying to figure out any closing remarks. I'm definitely gonna make another video on this. I mean, it's not. I think I can do this better justice when I'm not on my phone. Yeah, let's look at the bigger patterns. I should have been doing this the whole time. This is pretty much what you want to do first, anyway. You want to find the overall direction. You want to find the overall direction. You even want to see like how good it's been doing, for the past at least like half a year. You see what I mean? This is important. Remember this huge sell-off it was having? This was like in the beginning of the year, like in December, it was just selling off all month. Now it's recovery. But look at where it's heading. Look where it's heading. It's reaching the highs it had before. So it definitely still has room to push up. Like, I mean, if you see even on this chart, the 6-month chart, it's really overextended past the EMA. So what it could do is pull back some tomorrow, but still continue to trend up. Or it is really overbought. And this is what I mean. It's like whenever you, guys, it's like looking at the gematria, seeing the patterns, seeing it repeat. Let's go back to February 19th. February 19th, you see how it breaks above. It's doing well here. But look what happens. Like it's overbought. This RSI shows you how overbought and oversold it is. Once it touches here, it's eventually gonna get too overbought and start selling off. So it started selling off after, failing to hold this for too long. So you just wait for this to kind of start dipping, showing signs. The red part of the MACD starts, the green part's over. The green part's over means like a lot of the buying's kind of done and the selling momentum's in. That's kind of how I view it, the selling momentum. Because these are also just 2 moving averages. They're all just a bunch of moving. That's all these are. They're moving averages, calculating, the closing price over a certain amount of time. So you see this. You see how whenever it pushes up high past this blue line, it's overextended, or just any previous resistance level. Whenever it pushes high above that, it's getting overextended. It's going to have to sell off at some point. So you see where we're at now. Huge candle, huge push up today. You would think the market would have a nice sell-off on 213, but it didn't. And this is good. We see on 213, death 213, but no, the market did great. Did great. So it's bound for a pullback. It's overbought. So you see how it's overbought. Tomorrow has this kill date numerology. It's 223. The MACD doesn't have to keep on going too. It could just make a few green and reverse. It does that too. And again, it can pull back tomorrow, and the MACD can still be going green for the future days. So looking at 4-hour candles, every 4 hours of activity, it's even better. You see, even on the 4-hour chart, it's overextended. Every time it pulls up, it always goes back down. It's not going to just keep going up past this line. It can, and the line will just catch up to it, but it looks like it's bound for a pullback. See, also overbought. Like the market might even push up tomorrow. Maybe in the morning it'll be fine, but then in the afternoon it'll just start selling off. And they'll say, Trump said this about China. They give you some dumb propaganda narrative every time the market makes something. It's a play. As I'm saying, guys, it's a play. Like it's a theatrical show, and they give you some fake bullshit narrative with the actor Donald Trump. Even on the hour chart. So each candle is just an hour. It's overextended on every chart. That's what I mean. It's so overbought on every chart. The S&P 500. That means there's going to be a lot of selling going on. And the question is, when's it going to start? And I'm thinking tomorrow. They like to do it Friday. It's 44 numerology on 223. So I hope this video shows some more insight. I definitely want to talk more about it, but even most every single chart's the same. Except for the daily chart. The daily chart has the MACD in its favor. I think it's a bit more room to push up overall, but it'll pull back tomorrow, but keep going higher. That's what it possibly looks like, but maybe not because it doesn't have that much more to go. It doesn't even have that much more to go. So yeah, if you want to swing TVIX, swing SPX S for like higher highs at some point, now's the time to get ready because the S&P 500 is going to start selling off again. And then they're going to be in the media. And that's what I'm saying, guys. You see the technicals, right? You see how it looks like it's going to sell off. Just because this is I don't like to use the word natural, but this is how every market is. Ups and downs. It's about to do this down cycle. But instead of just, it doing that, they're going to give you some retarded bullshit, fake news propaganda narrative about it, about Donald Trump and some other actor inside some crap from the federal government. And that's the dumb part about this. They gotta program the goy with this shit. I love the 15-minute chart. And see, this is where you want to look at a lot of them. Because you see the 15-minute chart. You see how fine this is, though? It pushed up, bounced off this EMA, pushed up. It could bounce off this EMA and keep pushing up tomorrow. It could. It could push. But the thing is, you can even see it could push up a final time, like in the morning, hit this again, and then start selling off, and then reverse back to maybe this SMA line, and then continue to go higher as we saw in the daily chart. So this 15 minutes kind of explains like what I've been trying to say. Like it's riding above this green line. Here's just the rule, and it's a good way to think. You should always assume the trend's going to continue unless you have some evidence. Like if it's been bouncing off this green line the whole time and been bouncing off this blue line, yes, it's starting to peak in. Like you can see how this is starting to curve in. So this might just be peaking out and it can start breaking below. And you see the MACD, it's in red. It can still continue to go red and sell off. But likewise, the size of it is around the size of the other one, of this one. So it's possible for it to go up, but I still think it's going to sell off tomorrow. I think it might be a little morning push up, and then it'll sell off the rest of the day. Down to here, and then continue to go higher, just for like maybe until next week or something. And then you'll have some big sell off. Maybe April will be the month. April Fool's Day will be where the market just starts to fucking shit on itself. By the numbers. That's my guess. Anything goes. Guys, if this was perfect to guess, everyone would be filthy rich, But I hope this gives you an idea into how the market works. And then you can play SPXL, XPXS accordingly. There's also, UVXY, TVIX, UPRO, SPXU, or SVXU. There's so many ETFs that follow the S&P 500. You just pick what you like, what moves in your favor. I might start playing SPXL, man. I've been looking at UPRO because that one is like pretty much inverse of TVIX, and it moves pretty nicely too. Like, let's see, it's the same. Like, different companies own some of these too, you know what I mean? Like, Credit Suisse has some, Pro Shares, like, these are all Zionist Jew run, Freemasonic corporations. So, you just pick your poison, you pick what you like, because they all move slightly differently, but they're pretty much the same pattern. So, again, when S&P 500 does good, you play this, and I'll switch to TVIX again, and you see how it's a sell-off. See, selling off, inverse. One does the opposite of each other. And you can even see, though, like, TVIX has been making an uptrend since the 19th. Like, it's been trying to make higher highs from here. You get clues here, too. You see it's pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, has this huge sell-off. But again, that's a whole J. Powell propaganda event with interest rates. So that's just a bunch of hype. So that's going to all wear off, and it's going to continue with its uptrend, which means the S&P 500 is going to continue its selling off because this is the pattern we're assuming. We see it happening until some shit happens. And again, it's 2019, Chaos 19. I'm sure TVIX is going to have a good year overall. We just need it to break above this green line and hold above there. It doesn't look like it wants to do that. You notice it breaks above the SMA and then just like sells off again. It breaks off. It sells off through. So I don't know. So as you can tell, I can probably go all day talking about this, but I'm probably going to close the video. I still want to make my Tesla prediction official in another video. SPY is the ETF that follows the S&P 500. This is a nice one too. I just don't like the margins, but again, like high volume, you can see like how it follows it. These are all their own indicators. I only pretty much trade TVIX, but I use this to see like what to do. Like, you can, because you just do the opposite of what this is. You say, okay, it's here now. Well, if this breaks below, this blue line and holds below it, or breaks below this purple line, then I play TVIX because it means that it's making lower lows, breaking supports. And again, you don't need these lines. You can just, support resistance level. If it's breaking supports, play TVIX. If this is getting rejected as it's going down, play TVIX. Short the S&P and don't play it when it's doing this. Or you can, you play TVIX when it does this sell-off. You play TVIX, when it's doing this sell-off. All right, so I hope that wasn't a mouthful. I'm sure I probably confused a lot of people, but I did get requested to do this, and I really wanted to share someone more insight if I can. And again, I'm sorry this is on the phone, but don't worry, I'll do another video like this soon. But yeah, it's a takeaway. Right now, S&P 500 is doing nice. Past 4 days. Doing nice even the past 20. They've been doing nice for a while, but it's, it's time for that shit to end. Overextended. It's going to sell off. Real quick, though, before we close, let's look at Monday. Let's look at Monday. Let's sacrifice 67. 325, Scottish rate of Freemasonry equals 325. Freemasonry 67. 325 on a date with 47 numerology. The guys are going to have a big Masonic ritual. I promise you that on the 25th. I'm not sure about market activity on this day. I can't tell you right off the bat. Skull 60, 60 days, 281 and 60th prime. But look at this. 47 date numerology, and it's 325. We're talking about Scottish rite of Freemasonry. I mean, it's no surprise what's going on. got us right for Masonry equals 325. So on 3/25 this year, to date with 47 numerology and 67 numerology, Freemasonry 67. Their compass set at 47 degrees. Euclid's 47th problem about establishing a foundation. You get it. Monday is going to be a big Masonic ritual in the news. It doesn't have to be violent or anything, but it's going to be, they're going to let you, make sure you know it's definitely a Masonic ritual by the numbers. Peace out.